Hello my favourite Wastelanders. I thought I'd share with you today a really cool junk farm that I've kind of, well, it's not discovered, but it's a really cool route that you can use to get wads of the stuff. One of the main things about this particular foraging run is that it's good for low-level players. I'm only level 32 or 33 or something like that, so all the enemies you're going to encounter aren't going to be too difficult for you to overcome. A very important point. Don't want your ass handed to you every 10 seconds, do you? So what we'll do is I'll show you where we start from and where we go for a little walk, and you can also be earning loads of junk while you're on your foraging mission as well. So the place we're heading to is Sunshine Meadows Industrial Farm. You can see it's just at this intersection here by the river. It's below the Mothman Museum and south from Vault 76, but that just gives you a rough idea of where it is on the map. Now the reason why we're going to a workshop to start off our little foraging run is because it gives you a good base. You may not have built a camp yet or anything like that, so you may just be picking things up as you're going. So if you start off at a workshop, it'll give you a base where you can build your basics that you can use once you're going on your little foraging mission. And another good reason to do the workshop thing is because it gives you a free fast travel point to go back to if your pockets get full and you can't carry any more stuff. And as you go in, you might notice that you've got some feral ghouls or mongrel dogs or whatever. Just smash their faces in until they're dead, and then you can make your way to claim the workshop. You can see that there's a workbench right at the back. If you go up there, you can activate the workbench, and then you see this loudspeaker going tick, 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 up to the top. Once that's done, then you've claimed the workshop, and you can build on the land within the green boundary area. Now, don't be frightened of using workshops. They're spread all over the place, and what I'd recommend you do first of all is stick down a stash so you can stick all the stuff in that you're about to collect, and also stick down a workbench or an armor bench or anything really that allows you to scrap junk, so you can then use that junk and then store it in the box. So once you've done that, the next thing you want to do, and this might be new to some of you, but you go out to the front and you can see here there's this big pile of, well, shite is the only way to describe it. Now what you've got to do is put what's called a junk extractor on top of this pile of shite, and then it'll start extracting lots and lots of junk for you while you're off going on a mission. So what you need to do is go into your building menu and then go along to resources, and then you scroll down to the junk extractor, and then you can see it'll turn green and it can fit exactly on top of the pile of shite. Now the next thing you need to do is to put a power generator down. So whatever you've got in your inventory, in your build inventory, you've got to supply it with 10 power. So you can either just drop a big one down, and then don't forget to attach a wire from one to the other, or you can stick down some smaller ones to make up the 10. Now random events will occur with things attacking the workshop trying to clear it out for you, so if you put some turrets out as well, then you'll be able to kill those things and do the daily events as you're going, and those points will then go onto your legendary game board thing that'll allow you to collect stuff and tokens and whatnot. Anyway, right, let's begin our little quest. So this was the first time I've done this route too, so as you can see there's nothing down that Route 81, but that's the way we're going from where we are all the way down to the red Nuka-Cola plant you can see down in the south. Make your way over the blue bridge and we're going to continue down the road. So you're going to find lots of buildings on your way down with loads of stuff in them for you to get your adhesive, your plastic, your circuitry, your aluminium, everything. So do as much scavenging as you can. You'll bump into the odd low-level enemy, mole rats and the like, but they're not going to cause you any problems. This first part is a hot dog place. Can't remember what it's called, but there's a recipe in there, and I also used the stove to cook myself some gut-churning mutt chops. Puke. I saw this woman here trying to break her way into a crate with a bobby pin. Good luck with that, love, but she seemed quite happy with the single bobby pin I gave her, so I let her go on her way. And also, you're by the coast, not the coast rather, you're by the bank of the river. So it's worth going down and having a look at the riverbank as you're going along, because you're going to find a few wrecked boats and raiders there who are chopping up disgusting animals. Threaten them, and some of them might even give you some ammo, like this crazy person did. You'll also find a safe here in this boat as well, so don't forget to lockpick that. Skill 2 is a good skill to have because that seems to cover most instances along this route here. There's a camp there with some shotgun ammo in it, which was very, very nice. First point of notice, this is the Silva Homestead. So along here, we have a bench, a tinkerer's workbench that you can use to scrap stuff. Don't forget, pick up duct tape so you can break that down for adhesive, and there's lots of potatoes and the like to harvest here as well, so you can stuff your face with gross irradiated produce. Check out all the buildings here. Nice bugs with them frozen everywhere. I do enjoy that. Yeah, it's when they're all frozen. It does make me laugh. The stupid, idiotic clots. I found another recipe here for Delbert's potato salad. Sounds disgusting. Okay, there was one interesting thing that I found on this Silva homestead. In this barn here, there is actually a set of power armor on the rack, which is good for you to take, and it's worth having a bit of a squiz around the workshop too, as there's lots of ammo laying around. So you can see this is where we are on the map, about halfway there, not too bad. Now this next part I think is very, very interesting because it's actually another workshop. It's called the Billings Homestead, and it seems that the Billings are home, but they've all turned into a horrendous pack of feral ghouls. So put them out of their stinking, stupid, squirming misery and blow their noses off, including their faces and their buttocks. And don't forget to sort of pick over their corpses, as for some reason they carry gold forks and the like. There is also a safe in the top floor of this house with a treasure map in it as well. Now when I got here, look, it said damaging or stealing property. This is a workshop. It was somebody else's workshop and I broke in and nicked their stuff. So I had a 10 cap thing shoved on my head. Worth knowing because obviously people will see you on the map then and come and try and kill you. But like I said, this workshop was already claimed by somebody else. Now if you claim this workshop, you can claim more than one. You can fast travel between the 2 points. You can get back to your other workshop at the top. But this, of course, is another equally viable workshop to take, but I think the Sunshine Industrial Place has got a lot more stuff in it and is a bit more interesting. As you can see, there's some Mothman statues around the place. They're a bit scary. And of course, you do find plenty of other workbenches as well if you want to scrap as you're going, which is a handy thing to do. Another point of interest here, we've got a Kanawha County Cemetery, if you felt like a bit of an explore, but I had the willies again, so I bloody well left. Just a bit on from the cemetery, you're going to find a raider encampment. Now, if they're not horrendously hating your guts, you can pop in here and do a couple of event missions, which will help ram your coffers full. But as is the way sometimes with Fallout, I started a mission to kill Mirelurks. I had to go hunting for them for ages. I killed a Mirelurk hunter, which was good fun, but then I went back to see that fish lock bones chap, and he just stared at me as if I'd shat in my trousers and I was stinking the place out. So I didn't have any reward from him, so I just carried on. This is where fate caught up with me. An invisible bloke at level 136 turned up and smashed my brains in until I died. So I'd lost all my stuff. So here's a lesson to you folks. Be very careful about who you pick on and whose stuff you nick, because it sticks you out and then it'll stick you down. Another excellent location for you to look at is this Lewis & Sons farming supply. There's loads of stuff to fill your pockets with, and this power armor chassis with T51 armor on it. Now you have to be level 30 to be able to use it, but it's got a helmet and it's also got a chest plate. I don't think it's got the complete set. I don't think it's got a right arm, but it's got lots, as it hasn't got any arms actually. Look, it's got a leg and an arm, but it might be an RNG thing, a random thing, so it's worth picking this up as you're making your way around. And of course there's loads of duct tape and excessive stuff as well. And a really cool thing is this shed out here, where you'll find loads and loads of fertiliser hanging about, because you're going to need that to craft some farming stuff like corn and potatoes and mute fruit to grow back on your old homestead so you can make adhesive, but that's going to be another video. Fallout's full of interesting things. This pipe was sticking out of the ground just around the Lewis & Sons farming area. So I advise you to get out of your power armor and go over and have a sniff. It'll make you high enough to spot intercontinental ballistic missiles. The corpse on the floor should have been a hint, really, but there you go. Anyway, last port of call on our mission is, of course, the Nuka-Cola factory, and there's loads of stuff to find in here, so give yourself a good quarter of an hour to explore, and then by the time you've finished here, your pockets will be full. Low-level creatures as well, so there's not too much to worry about. So once you're happy, fast travel back to the workshop, you know, the sunshine place. And as I was making my way back, this level 35 and I just stood looking at each other like a Western. What's he gonna do? And then, of course, we just waved at each other like a couple of massive scaredy cats and scuttled on our way because we didn't want to die because our pockets were full of rubbish. Well, the map's looking a bit fuller than it did when we started. You can see all the locations that we've discovered, and of course they all end up being fast travel points too. So when we return back to the workshop, you will find that you've got loads of junk that you need to get from the machine. Crystal shards, fiber optics, rubbers, those kind of rubbers. And it broke down into all this stuff. And that was just half of it, because I returned halfway through the mission to clear it out then as well. So including the stuff that you've picked up and the stuff from your machine, it'll probably take you about an hour to do, maybe 45 minutes, but it really is time well spent. Just be careful out there, Wastelanders, because at one point I was killed by your mum. And don't forget to drop me a subscribe and ring the notification bell when a new Fallout video drops into your lovely laps. Take care, everyone, and I shall see you in the nuclear irradiated wasteland.